Hello guys, and welcome back to another Weather Guy video. Today we will be talking about Winter Storm Ezekiel, which is currently happening in the plains, but is now moving into the Northeast. This is the Northeast specific episode. So first, this is the National Weather Service, weather.gov, and this is the current watches and warnings map. So, where you see pink, that is a winter storm warning. Where you see purple, that is a winter weather advisory. Where you see this blue here in the Northeast, that's a winter storm watch. And this red in the plains is a blizzard warning. There is also an ice storm warning in parts of Pennsylvania and Maryland. Next up, we go to the current picture of Winter Storm Ezekiel. Here is the low pressure, here is the wintry side of the storm, and here is the severe side of the storm. Now, this storm came off of the Rocky Mountains and created blizzard conditions in the plains and started to move east. Now, here's the real-time lightning map, lightningmaps.org. And this is all the lightning that we're getting in the south right now. Whole bunch of lightning, and that's the severe side of the storm. Lightning, hail, potential for tornadoes. I just wanted to show the lightning map quickly. Now we're getting into the thick of things. This is the Northeast. This is the main topic of this episode of The Weather Guy. So as we click along here, you can see some rain in the south. That starts to move north and east. You start to see that freezing rain developing in Pennsylvania and Maryland. Then all that moves north. Really heavy freezing rain and sleet here. Then you start to see some snow pockets. Then Philadelphia, the NAM says you will be starting out as rain and staying as rain for a while. New York, you will be starting out as sleet and switching to rain. Bridgeport, snow, starting as snow. Buffalo would be sleet and then snow. Albany and Hartford, snow. And then New York switches to rain. Providence, now in the snow. Boston, rain and then snow. Bridgeport and Hartford turn over into that wintry precip, then into rain. As Boston continues in the snow, and then that switches over to rain, so does Albany. And then some really heavy snow in Massachusetts as the low pressure moves off the coast. Now we're dealing with a nor'easter, Ezekiel the nor'easter. Then on the back end of this storm, it's all snow. Philadelphia snow, Washington, D.C. snow, New York snow, Bridgeport snow, Hartford snow, Albany snow, Boston snow, Manchester, New Hampshire snow. Everywhere is going to get snow. We could even see snow into Virginia. But this is really where most of the heavy snow comes for most of the region. Is on the back end. And that's Tuesday into late Tuesday, Wednesday. So this storm is going to start on Sunday, end on Tuesday and Wednesday. So a long storm, which explains some of these snow totals. Now, this is including sleet at a 10-to-1 snow liquid ratio. So if one liquid of sleet or freezing, sleet falls, this is saying that it would be 10 inches of snow, which is a little bit over-exaggerated, but we can use this as a benchmark. Because the sleet will account, I don't know why I just did that, but the sleet will account for something. So we have D.C. really picking up nothing. Even though you will see some flakes flying, it's not going to be enough to accumulate. Philadelphia, this is showing less than 1 inch. Now, Buffalo, this is showing 3 to 6 inches. Albany is showing in one of those pockets of 2 feet plus. New York, this is showing about a foot. Bridgeport, this is showing about a half a foot. Hartford, this is showing about 14 to 15 inches. Boston, this is showing a foot plus. Very tightly packed area there. And then it's showing up into Maine 6 to 12 inches of snow. So this is a little over-exaggerated, but so is the total positive snow depth change, which is, I'm thinking, a little bit less than will happen, but more around that same area. So DC still getting nothing. Philadelphia, a dusting. Buffalo, an inch or two. New York, 3 or 4 inches. Bridgeport, 2 inches. Hartford, 6 inches. Providence, about a foot. Boston, about a foot. Albany, still getting that about 2 foot range. And about the same thing in Maine, about 4 to 6 inches. Except in down east Maine, then you'll probably see less. That'll be more of a rain situation. But that's one model. Now, the weird thing about this storm is that it's been very dramatic changes in snow depth if you look at different models. Like, the GFS is showing a little bit more sporadic. Then the Canadian model is, actually I can only show total snowfall, but it's showing a little bit more to the east, so is the GFS. So it's definitely different, drastically different between anything you're going to look at, so just take everything with a grain of salt. We're just going to see what happens. Now, okay. Oh, there we go. Now, we are looking at weather.us. This is the European model. This is the only site that I can find where you can find the European model for free. So, let's look at Sunday at 12 a.m. Now, you're starting to see that ice in the ice storm areas, some snow. Now, let's go to the state of New York. That's the closest thing I can get right now. So, Philadelphia, it says that you're going to... Oh, man. Hold up one sec. Technical difficulties. Now, let's start off with Pennsylvania. Oh, nope. Don't want South Carolina. I want Pennsylvania. There we go. Okay. Pennsylvania. This is showing that... Let's see if we can go back to where DC starts. This is showing DC starting out as rain. Oh, there we go. Philadelphia starting out as light snow. Yeah, there is ads on here. Then Philadelphia switching over to rain. But it's also showing this huge ice threat here. Look at this. Crazy amounts of ice. Heavy ice here. Now, New York starts out as snow. And then eventually switches over to rain. But we're going to go back to this. And then we're going to change the map to New York. Now, New York starting out as snow, as we saw. Then Bridgeport starts out as snow. Hartford starts out as snow. Albany starts out as snow. And then what's interesting here is that the lighter snow is actually on the front end. So now we're just going to go to USA East. Okay. Then Boston... Sorry, guys. Have to kind of cram this in here a bit, but Boston starts out as snow. Now, there's a lot of moderate snow in this, but you could also see this wintry mix wintry mess that we have along the I-95 corridor. A lot of sleet. We have a lot of freezing rain, a huge mess here. And this is your Monday morning now. A lot of school cancellations. Even if you're not seeing snowfall, there's still going to be a lot of school cancellations. Even if it's raining, you might still see some school cancellations. Because of the ice, because of the sleet. Everything that happened Sunday night is going to affect Monday morning. Even if it's early Sunday night. Because of how slowly this moves. And because of the sleet, the rain, the ice, the snow, all mixing in together. And now we get to the back end of the storm. Everybody's going to switch over to snow, and in a lot of areas, moderate snow to start. And you could even see heavy snow. Then this starts to move off a little slowly, but surely does move off by Tuesday. Now, snow depth. This isn't what's going to fall from the sky. This is what they think will be on the ground by Tuesday at 6 a.m. Now, let's go back here. And let's start in the south with Pennsylvania. It's showing Philadelphia, 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Pittsburgh, same thing. Now, we're going to go to, next stop, New York. New York City, this is showing about 1 inch to 2 inches. Buffalo, less than a half an inch. Albany, this is showing 12 inches plus. Bridgeport, this is showing 1 to 3 inches. But if you look at specifically Connecticut and when it shows up Rhode Island, there is a huge difference between the coastline and the interior. Even though Connecticut and Rhode Island are very small states, we have a huge variant of snow depths. Even in New York, from New York City to Poughkeepsie, which is probably an 1.5-hour drive, you have from 1 inch to 1 foot. So this just shows you this is highly unpredictable. So I'm taking my best shot at this right now. So now, let's see. Hartford, it's just showing about 8 to 12 inches. Next up, we have Massachusetts. This also shows Providence will get 2 to 4 inches. Boston, this is showing 1 to 3 inches. Even though about probably maybe a 1/2 hour to 1 hour drive west, and you're seeing 6 to 8 inches. So the coastline is probably going to be the least affected out of the entire Northeast, but still huge travel impacts on the last day of this Thanksgiving weekend. Finally, Maine. Bangor and Augusta, both in that 8 to 12 inch range. Portland, same deal, coastal town, probably going to see 1 to 3. I wouldn't be surprised 3 to 5 inches. These are my estimates for Winter Storm Ezekiel. Rough estimates, probably a little too high in some places, a little too low in others. So, it kind of bounces out. I said Pittsburgh, less than 1 inch. Philadelphia, less than 1 inch. New York, 1 to 3 inches. Bridgeport, 3 to 6 inches. Hartford, 6 to 12 inches. Providence, 3 to 6 inches. Buffalo, 3 to 6 inches. Albany, 1 to 2 feet. Boston, 6 to 12 inches. And Bangor, 6 to 12 inches as well. These are my estimates. Might not be right, but this is what I took from both models, kind of combined them together, try to provide a rough estimate. So guys, that is my coverage of Winter Storm Ezekiel. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to stay safe. Let the crews do their job. Stay off the roads unless you really have to. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.